You stop eating, thinking your body will just feel hungry. But inside your body, something far more complex begins almost immediately. A powerful survival system activates, one that has been built into your biology for thousands of years. And what happens next isn't just about hunger. It's a complete shift in how your body produces energy, protects itself, and keeps you alive. In the next 24 hours, your body will move through multiple internal states, each one designed to maintain balance even when food is no longer coming in. But not all of these changes are harmless, and some of them can become dangerous if pushed too far. It all begins the moment you finish your last meal. Your body enters what's known as the fed state, where glucose from digested food floods your bloodstream. This glucose becomes your primary source of energy, fueling your brain, muscles, and organs. In response, your pancreas releases insulin. Think of insulin as a key. It unlocks your cells, allowing glucose to enter and be used for energy. Any excess glucose doesn't go to waste. Your body stores it, mainly in your liver and muscles, in the form of glycogen. At this stage, everything feels stable. Your body is running efficiently, powered directly by the food you've just eaten. But this state doesn't last forever. A few hours later, glucose levels in your blood begin to fall, and your body senses this change instantly. To maintain balance, it switches to a backup system. This is called the post-absorptive state. Your liver begins breaking down glycogen, releasing stored glucose back into your bloodstream. This keeps your energy levels stable, even though you're no longer eating. You may not feel anything yet, but inside your body, the shift has already begun. Energy is no longer coming from food, it's coming from your internal reserves. As time passes, glycogen stores slowly decrease, and your body starts preparing for what comes next. By around 6 hours, insulin levels drop significantly. Without constant glucose intake, your body begins relying more on stored energy. This is when fat metabolism starts to increase. At first, it's subtle, almost unnoticeable, but it marks the beginning of a major transition. Because glycogen, the stored form of glucose, is limited, and once it starts running low, your body is forced to adapt. Around 8 to 10 hours after your last meal, hunger becomes more intense. This is driven by a hormone called ghrelin. It sends strong signals to your brain, urging you to eat. This is your body's way of trying to restore balance. Inside your brain, changes are also happening. As glucose availability decreases, your brain begins to experience a slight drop in energy supply. You may feel less focused, slightly tired, or mentally slower. But then, something unexpected happens. Your body begins increasing fat breakdown. Stored fat is broken down into fatty acids, which are released into your bloodstream. These fatty acids travel to your liver, where they're converted into molecules called ketones. Ketones are an alternative fuel source, and unlike glucose, they can be produced even when you're not eating. This is the moment your body begins to shift from using glucose to using fat as its primary energy source. It's a survival mechanism, one that allows humans to function even during periods without food. By around 12 hours, glycogen stores are nearly depleted. Ketone production increases more rapidly, and fat becomes the dominant fuel. But this transition isn't perfect. Inside your muscles, another process begins: protein breakdown. It starts slowly, releasing amino acids into your bloodstream. These amino acids can be used to support essential functions, including maintaining blood glucose levels. Your body is now balancing survival. On one hand, it tries to preserve muscle. On the other, it needs to maintain a steady supply of energy. This is where things become more complex, because your body is no longer operating in a comfortable state. It's adapting under pressure. By around 16 hours, a powerful internal process begins to increase: autophagy.
This is your body's cellular cleanup system. Damaged components inside your cells are broken down and recycled. Old, dysfunctional parts are removed, making way for more efficient function. This process is often described as beneficial, and in many ways it is, but it's important to understand what it represents. Autophagy is not your body thriving, it's your body adapting to a lack of resources. At the same time, stress hormones begin to rise. Cortisol increases, helping your body release stored energy. It ensures that you can continue functioning, even in the absence of food. But this comes at a cost. Elevated stress levels place additional strain on your system. Your body is working harder just to maintain balance. By 18 to 20 hours, ketone levels rise significantly. Your brain begins adapting to this new fuel source, and for a short period, you may actually feel more focused. Some people describe this as mental clarity. But this clarity is temporary, because while your brain adapts, your body continues to experience stress. Physical energy begins to decline. You may feel weaker, slower, less capable of intense activity. This is because glucose, your body's most efficient fuel, is still limited. And this brings you to a critical point. By 24 hours, your body is fully in fasting mode. It is now running primarily on fat and ketones. Your metabolism has completely shifted away from glucose. At this stage, your body has done everything it can to adapt. But this state is not designed to last indefinitely. Because beyond this point, the risks begin to increase. Muscle breakdown becomes more significant, fatigue intensifies, and your body begins sacrificing more of its own resources to survive. Without proper planning, prolonged fasting can lead to imbalances. Electrolytes can drop, hydration becomes harder to maintain, and overall function can begin to decline. This is where many people misunderstand fasting. They assume that more is always better, that pushing longer will produce greater benefits. But your body doesn't operate on extremes. It operates on balance. Short, controlled fasting periods can be beneficial. They can support metabolic flexibility and cellular processes. But going too far, too often, without understanding the consequences, can do more harm than good. So what should you take from this? Your body is incredibly adaptive. It has systems designed to keep you alive even in difficult conditions. But those systems come with limits. Understanding those limits is what allows you to work with your body rather than against it. Hydration matters, electrolytes matter, and how you time your nutrition plays a critical role in how your body responds. Because your body is not just reacting to what you do. It's constantly adjusting, constantly balancing, constantly working to keep you alive every second. And when you begin to understand what's happening inside you, you stop guessing, you stop following extremes, and you start making decisions that actually support your body. If you want to see what's really happening inside your body, subscribe and keep exploring what's going on beneath the surface, because your body is doing far more than you think.